Talking Boxing with Billy C is on now.
My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
Pierpaoli here with BilyCBoxing, talking to John David Jackson. So about a week ago now, we saw Sergey Kovalev. Tell us a little bit about this guy. This guy looks like he's going places in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, you know, Sergey's a very good boxer. Very good boxer. Unfortunately, you don't see the boxing aspect of his game because he's knocking guys out. But you know, if you really watch it, he's setting guys up for the knockout blow. Really good, intelligent fighter, very strong, and will make a lot of noise at 175.
Now, what do you think? A lot of people are saying that, you know, they're talking about Stevenson, they're talking about Hopkins. I couldn't help but think that to see Kovalev against Hopkins, Hopkins is going to try to reduce that punch output. Do you think that that's something that, but he throws so many punches, it's going to be difficult.
Having trained Hopkins and fought against Hopkins, I know him pretty well. He was my chief sparring partner when I was champion. At this stage of his career, he can't do that. Too old. You know, he can try and be crafty and real clever and try to work his way out of situations. When a kid punches with the volume of punches that Sergey throws and the power that he possesses, you know, all he do is punch Bernard in his arms, hit him in his shoulders, hit him in his hips when the referee's not looking. Just hit him in the body. The body wasn't built to that kind of punishment in the first place. And a 48-year-old man, he can't do it. Now, years ago, Bernard probably could have deflected all of that. But at this stage of his life, no. I think it's a bad fight for Bernard, but if they make the fight, then they make the fight, and Sergey does what he has to do.
Well, you think that's somebody that Bernard doesn't want any part of?
Well, at this stage of Bernard's career, I don't think he wants a lot of hard fights. You know, he's smart. He's taking calculated risks, picked certain opponents that he knew that he had a chance of beating. And like Cloud was a decent fighter, decent puncher, but whatever his game plan was, he didn't follow it that night because he just followed Bernard around the ring, and Bernard did what he wanted to do. Now, Stevenson, on the other hand, that's a very intriguing fight. I trained Stevenson for a while. He possesses the same punching power that Sergey does. His chin is questionable and his defense is very shaky. That would give Sergey the upper hand. But that would be a very interesting fight and one that TV would love.
Yeah, I wonder, Stevenson does seem like somebody that there's more there that Hopkins could exploit, and maybe at this stage that's the kind of fight that he'd rather have than a Kovalev, because Kovalev, I mean, that's like 90 to 100 punches around. I mean, that work rate, man.
And he's going to make Bernard work. You know, that would be the game plan. Make the old man work. Don't just follow him around the ring, cut the ring off, and make him fight harder than he's ever had to fight in his life. And at this stage of his life, he can't do that. He can't keep up that work rate. Bernard fights in the shell, and he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. So it'll be a great fight for us, but it's a fight that I don't think Bernard needs or would take unless the money was just so crazy that he'd give it to him. But I don't think at this stage he can demand that kind of money.
Now, what do you think about tomorrow night and Perez that you're working with here?
I worked with Ed before, and we're back together. Ed's a very strong puncher. He has good boxing skills, but sometimes he doesn't use the boxing skill. He likes to trade a lot and gets in a little bit of a funk where he doesn't let his hands go like he should. So we're working on that, and he may not do it completely the way I want him to this fight, but as time progresses, I think he'll catch on. Very good fighter, very underrated. Now it's his time. If he's going to make a move, now's the time to make it. So make this fight to be a statement, and then the next fight, he has to really go to work. So it's his time now. If you're going to do it now.
And I wanted to ask you, I know you used to work with Sugar Shane Mosley. We're hearing that he might be fighting Anthony Mundine in Australia.
Yeah.
That seems like a big, strong guy for Shane. Is that a wise fight at this time?
Honestly, I don't think Shane fighting at all is wise in this part of his career. Because, you know, he's had a great run. He's fought some of the best fighters of his time. You know, now it's more, I hate to say more about, you know, money. I don't know if he needs the money, if he just wants to take these fights on the way out. But it's not a good fight. I was over in Australia back in January, and I watched Mundine fight. Not a bad kid, rugged kid. It's going to be on his turf. The judges, everything's going to be in his favor. Shane has to really let his hands go. And Shane hasn't fought the way he used to fight as a lightweight in years. He's heavier now. He's older. The punches aren't as fluid as they used to be. The power, especially the power, not there at 54 or 60. 47 was his maximum.
Yeah.
And so it's unfortunate that a guy that has such a great career as he had and made the money he's made and fought the guys he fight is now fighting as the opponent pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather see him not do it, but I have no say in his career, and you know, I no longer train him, so it doesn't matter. I wish him well, but I'd rather see him retire and walk away with the career he had, as opposed to people seeing him now and remembering him that way.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, I just got to ask your opinion about Mike Tyson here. What do you think about him as a promoter?
I think it's good. I think it's good for boxing. I think it's good for Mike. You know, Mike needs things to keep him going and just keep him busy and keep him active. You know, I know Mike since he was 16. Matter of fact, he and I were just talking about that a few minutes ago. I think it's good. He generates interest in boxing. People still want to see him. Just the name Mike Tyson brings people to the fights. His promotion will hopefully bring better talent to Mike Tyson's productions, and he can sign these kids, the American fighters, and develop them, and hopefully get some American superstars to bring boxing back up in America. It's not dead, but it's it's on shaky ground. It's on shaky ground right now.
It's maybe a little catatonic.
We need that, and we need hopefully eventually get a heavyweight that can be produced that can make some noise in the heavyweight division, because Klitschko's, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they're so boring for boxing right now, and they're overseas and they're not exciting enough for the American public. So hopefully, with Mike Tyson, he can persuade a couple of good amateurs to turn pro under his production company, and hopefully, produce somebody that can bring back the interest to America for heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to me, and I remember one time seeing an interview where Mike talked about when he imagines dream fights and stuff, he always thinks of himself as a smaller guy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to stick. It's interesting that he's with featherweights in his first promotion here.
Yeah.
Some of the best action is in the smaller guys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Mike has to bring the world of his experience inside the ring and outside the ring. He has to deal with a lot of different people emotionally. So hopefully he brings some of that wisdom and share it with the team of people he has around him, and hopefully make boxing, like I said, more exciting in America than what it's been, because it's fallen off. Unfortunately now TV controls. They're the promoters now, not the promoters. Promoters are more like managers now. So hopefully, with him along with Gary Jonas, Gary has great ideas. They can formulate some of those ideas and turn them into reality and make boxing better for the American fighters.
John, thank you very much. Great talking to you.
Hey, my pleasure, brother.